Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today my subject is going to be about the relationship with the soul, the spirit. Now, I don't know, I don't have any notes for this. I'm just gonna go and tell you everything that I've experienced and everything that I'm experiencing. Now, when you have a relationship with your soul, and when you connect to yourself, it's the most amazing and a wonderful feeling in the world. And I feel like when you first of all, to connect to the soul, okay, you need to uncondition the mind. People say, "Oh, the soul will always be lost," or I had someone say that the other day on one of the comments on Facebook, and I thought about that, and I thought, well, no, it's not the soul that is always lost. The soul is always free. It only knows love. It does not understand hatred. It does not understand envy. It does not understand anything that's negative, because it's only loving. It only comes from love. And all it understands is love. And all it wants to do is connect to every single person and every single thing, because the soul knows, the spirit knows that everything in creation is from the one creator. Okay, now whether you call that the energy or God or whatever it may be your belief, it's fine. Okay, you don't have to believe that it's a God, or equally you don't have to believe that it's energy. It's your own belief of what you think is right for, I wouldn't say right for you, in terms of your own search and how you found contentment. Being a psychology student and going through therapy for almost 2 years, okay, and then searching. So unconditioning my mind with therapy, and then when it was unconditioned, you lose everything you've ever known, and you become a blank canvas, and your mind is so clean and clear, and what you want to, and I didn't want to just put anything on there, okay? So right now, everything that I'm putting on there, I'm making sure that I've done a lot of research into it. I've meditated, I've prayed every single day and every single night. This is my prayer: Master of the universe and everything that's in it, the creator of everything in existence, guide me, support me, and heal me. Every single second of the day, that's my prayer. I wake up praying that, saying that. I go to sleep saying that, because I know how crafty the ego can be, our mind can be. Have I fully conquered my mind? Have I fully got my mind to become a servant to my soul? I'll say I've managed to bring my mind to become a servant of my soul. However, the mind is always going to be protective of the soul and our existence. That's what it's there for. So it's always going to be reacting to negativity. It's always going to want to protect you emotionally, psychologically, physically, and spiritually, okay? So don't work against your mind. You can't do that. You cannot work against your ego. Gandhi couldn't do it. The Prophet had he's one converted, okay? And I don't think Jesus had an ego. I think he was completely pure. I'm not sure of that. I will look more into it. But anyway, this is not about religion. It's more about how you connect to your inner self, your higher self. Whether you want to call it spirit or higher self or soul or ego, whatever you want to call it. Now, you connect to it by You connect to it by, like I said, by unconditioning your mind, okay? And you have to be very, very wary of the mind, okay? And you educate the mind on all aspects of life, okay? On all the different religion, on all the different faith, and remember to only see the loving side of it, okay? You only look at the positives of everything in life, everything. Now, that's not to say the negatives don't exist. Hell, we know the negative exists. We know it's out there. But knowing and making your own life a misery is not the answer. You know it, you acknowledge it, and at the back of your head, you should always have that: how can you serve humanity to make a difference? How does your existence make a difference? You can either do that with your mind, like most people do, with your ego, or you can do it from your soul. And so anyway, how you would do that is by educating your mind. And how you connect to your soul is through prayer, is through meditation. Okay, now I used to pray before, where the way, the traditional way where everybody would tell me pray, how you're told to pray. And I never understood a word I was saying. I never understood what I was reading, and I didn't feel that connection. Right now, I feel so connected, and everything I ask for, I get. But you have to remember, if you're asking for something that's materialistic and everything, all of that stuff, it's from your mind, it's not from your soul. Okay, so when you're asking for things that's not godly, that's not loving, that will do harm to you, okay? First of all, it may not get accepted, okay, because it's not good for you. You need to realize that. So you need to change the way you think. You need to adjust your mind. Second of all, you may get it. I do. I get what I ask for in my prayers. But what I find is that it's not right for me. So then, it took me a very long time to realize that. So now what I'm learning to do is not ask for anything. I don't ask for anything in my prayer. The only thing I say is, Master of the universe, do whatever you think is best for me. If this person is good for me, keep them in my life. If they're bad for me, remove them away from me. Okay, and does it work? It does work. Unfortunately, majority of the population are controlled by the ego. And now, biologically, in psychology, the ego is translated in many different ways, okay? But I'm looking at it on a spiritual and biological way, in terms of, okay, spirituality says this about the devil or the ego or whatever. What does science say about it? So I look at both of them, okay? Now, what I find is that science for us makes more sense because it's in today's language, where religion and all of that, it's in a language that's quite alien to us. Well, it's alien to me anyway. I can only speak for myself. And but the only thing is, you see the connection that science is only discovering what faith and religion have said for years and years, but science is explaining it in a more just today's language. And I love it. I love science. I love the way it explains everything. I love the way, things make sense to me. Because I have to say, there's a lot of things in religion that didn't make sense to me, that I couldn't agree to, that I found it morally and ethically wrong. That's not to say the religion's wrong. It's to say the way people interpret it is wrong. That's what I found, that somebody's interpretation of certain things in faith is just completely and utterly messed up, okay? I don't believe that God could hate, that he could be revengeful, that he could be so envious and angry. The God I know, the Creator I know, the Almighty I know, is full of love, compassion, and forgiveness, and he loves all of his creation, every little thing. And that's what I found in spirituality, that, you know, everything is made with love. Everything is love. And we should love each other on every level. But the ego gets in and makes it difficult. And I think that's where I react. I react when it's an automatic reaction. Okay, I have reacted today earlier when I posted something on Facebook, and there's so many negative people out there. It's unbelievable. And then a friend of mine, bless him, he messaged me and saying, Farah, keep focused, spread your word of love. The world needs it. It's the only way we can heal the world. I believe in love. I think love and compassion is the way forward. And all the people who attack this belief system that love is the way forward, that's fine. That's your journey, and this is my journey. And it is your choice, every individual's choice of how they want to live their life. I want to live my life through love and compassion. I'm not fully compassionate yet. Like I said, my ego does react to negativity when it shouldn't. But I'm not Gandhi. I'm not him. And I'm not the you know, we're not prophets, and I don't claim to be. But I'm only sharing where I've found peace. And that's in love. And that's in knowing a creator that's full of love and just absolutely amazing. And I walk down the street and I feel my soul is constantly dancing. I hear this beautiful music in my ear that's absolutely soothing. My mind is not there, so it's constantly searching, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that my mind is searching, because it wants to know what the soul knows. And that's where we should be. That's where we should be. We should be so connected to our soul that the mind wants to know, what is it that he or she knows? What does the soul know that I don't know? My mind craves for it. And it's amazing. It's a lovely place to be, because you have to remember, your mind is your strongest asset. Your mind is your strongest tool. But you also have to remember that you are not controlled by your mind. You are in control of your mind. You are controlling the mind. You are guiding it in the right direction. Okay, and that's where I am now. I've got my mind to agree to my soul, my emotional self. If you want to, if you want the scientific side of it, would be that the soul is the emotional self, and so when we are connected to our emotional self, there is no way on earth, okay, unless you've been traumatized emotionally or physically or psychologically, okay, we have empathy built into us. If humanity didn't have empathy, we would not exist. We would not survive. If we didn't have empathy, we couldn't work together. We have to have empathy in us to work together. Okay? If we followed the ego and we only followed and we were ruled by our ego, we would only serve ourselves and not humanity. And humanity would have ended a long time ago. But I believe that 90% of us still have humanity in us, but we haven't educated our mind, okay? And the 10% of the elite people have lost their connection to their spirit, to their soul, and they've completely let their mind take over. So they're being controlled by the ego, okay? And that's how they're using everything to condition the mind. Uncondition your mind. Uncondition your mind. Connect to your soul, okay, and retrain your mind. Retrain it to serve you, to serve humanity, to serve your soul. That's my message. Have a wonderful day. Well, it's evening here, it's the evening here, so have a wonderful evening. I love you all, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care. Mwah.